Right, that's it. I'm here. How are we all doing? I say all. Colin Guntrips here. My connection might be a bit dodgy tonight. So, Colin, if you can hear me for one, just say, yes, I can hear you in the chat section. Please, mate. Dipsy, yeah, you can hear me. Cheers, mate. Eddie's mum, hi, Brian. Del Boy, hi, mate. This is to Del Boy regarding the president. I can't remember what it is, the Jackson 2. I didn't realise you had an issue with yours, Del Boy, on receive. But I've heard a couple. They sound absolutely great, but I've never owned one. But Wayne, hiya, mate. Right, anyone else that's popped in that ain't spoken yet, come and introduce yourself. Colin Wiltshire, 5 and 9. Okay, Del Boy. Yeah, for the money that you, Del Boy, paid. Okay, Colin Guntrip, right. Come on, lads. I might need bailing here. Colin's going to ask a question. Phaser's in here. Hi, mate. How are you? Darren Howell. So I'm waiting here with Colin Guntrip's first question. I think it's just going to be slow. Anyway, as some of you will know, Alan, or Albast, did his first, or was his second live stream the other day, and I thought he'd done really well. Okay, I'm still waiting for this question. I've got some a bit of news for you, in actual fact, from I got it from watching Albast's last live stream. I don't know if any of you saw. He had a bowler hat on, you know. It really made me laugh. Adrian Obby, I don't know, mate. You'll have to have a little look there. And Adrian Obby, I have seen one of you. I think you only uploaded one video. I did see that. Simon Bell, hi Simon. Yeah, this bit of news is regarding QRM, not just on the CB band, but the amateur band and, you know, the radio spectrum in general. Okay, does the way you point the car do anything to the signal of the aerial? Yes, it does to a certain point. In an ideal world, Colin, all our cars would be perfectly round and our aerials would be right in the middle, and that way you'd get an equal pattern of radiation all the way around. That's why people tend to recommend sticking the aerial in the middle of the car to minimise that. I think if you put your aerial on the rear driver's side, let's say, I think that your signal would favour a little bit on diagonally across. Not a huge amount, but a little bit. Wayne saw the hat. Okay. I'm waiting for Alan to turn up, and I hope he does, because I've actually written down some stuff here. Now, I will mention while I'm here, and things are a little bit on the slow side, I was sent some CB radio memorabilia okay, from Charlie Tango 11, Merrill. Now, I have noticed, incidentally, that there's someone calls himself Charlie Tango 11 from Stevenage, so I don't know what that's about. One of the things that I was sent was this. CB Radio Operator's Roadmap. It's got a sticker on the back that you put on your car. Okay, and it's just... I'm not going to fully open it out. It's basically about using your CB radio. And on the bottom, it says copyright 1977. So that there, for me, is an absolute banging thing. A little bit of CB radio history. And I've Googled this to death, and I can't find even a picture of that. Now, if any of you guys got one of these kicking about or seen one before, okay, that's the first thing. Now, a lot of you will have seen this. Okay, now all looks back to front to me on my screen. It's basically the 10 code, right? Now, if you look here, 1033, help me quick. And it comes down to here. These are unallocated. Now, 1036 on here is also unallocated. It's not part of the 10 code when this was printed. And this is absolutely mint. Just reading, Chaz Wazza, ever thought of going flat side on 11? Yes, I actually have when I had a 3 element beam back in the 80s stroke 90s. Absolutely brilliant for DXing. Here's the other bit of memorabilia, and a lot of you again would have seen this. Notice on the bottom it says new 40 channel. What does it say? New 40 channel edition. CB Operator's Manual Logs. Anyone else got one, seen one on eBay, know someone who's got one? Because I've never ever seen them things before in my life, and I can't find any information about them online, including searching for images. Colin says someone called James says that he knows me. Not that I know what. Oh, we got Moogie, Mr. Dave. Hiya, Dave. Gary Seed. Yeah, congratulations, mate. Okay, Alan Albast, I've got some information that might be of interest to you regarding QRM. And I just got a quiz Dave, Mr. OGY. Dave, what is it you've actually got when you say you've got a mint one? Mr. Metalhead 503 is in the house. Hi, Paul. Glad you remembered to turn up. Yeah, to me, this is to Moogie, let's call him. Dave knows who I mean. These few bits here were sent to me as a gift by a subscriber, along with a few other bits and pieces. Okay, Dave. Yeah, brilliant. I've never seen another one in all my days. And part of it is I'm not sure if it was issued. It must have been issued for the American market, surely, because to my knowledge, we never had a 23 channel set up within the UK. So it's strange that you bought it in London, Dave. Most stuff come from America, didn't it? That's how we all ended up with CBs over here, wasn't it? People illegally importing AM rigs. Swady boy, you don't have to apologise for being late. Quite often I might not even no show if, you know, I've got something else on in my life. Okay, Dave, cheers for that info, mate. Yeah, a little bit of gold dust there. I would never part with that. Never. That, to me, is something, you know, it's part of our hobby, the history of our hobby. TJ Noob, hi, mate. Now, this is to Alan Albast. I did watch your stream, mate. I thought it was very good, in actual fact. Now, I'm just going to share with all of you. I may as well share it now. I was going to share it a bit later. Alan was saying, why don't we all, as a collective, do like a petition to Ofcom regarding noise? Okay. There is a bit of information online regarding Amazon and how compatible they are and how much interference they cause. I wrote it down here, and I'll tell you at the end of the video what you have to type in. And there was talk of possibly items being sold on eBay, so this might filter right through the system here. David Jason from Western Newfoundland, Canada. Hi, David. Thanks for popping by. There you go. Del Boy's giving some input regarding the frequencies being out of line. Now, obviously, I gathered that CB radio started with 23 channels because some of the early ones were only 23 channels. Obviously, I've been around long enough to know that. I never had one, incidentally. Dave Moogie says in 1977, the USA changed from 23 channels to 40. That was before my time. I ain't going to sort of lie and say, yeah, I was on then, because I weren't. But it's all interesting stuff regarding the history of our hobby here. Trying to think if I've got any other sort of news. Not really. I tried to speak to Stefan the other day. That was a little bit of a no-go. More down to my end, I think, because Stefan's 500 foot ASL, etc. Wayne's got a 23 channel Major 3000. Never heard of that one. And Moogie's only 53. You're just a whippersnapper, Dave. Just a whippersnapper, mate. I wish this camera wouldn't keep focusing and unfocusing, but you know me, I'm pretty animated. I'm always all over the place, so cameras do have a job. Wayne, do you collect old rigs, or is it something you picked up and just thought that you would hang on to, mate? Just, I knew a guy who collected years ago. One of his bedrooms was full from the floor to the ceiling, various home bases, sidebanders, and he would only buy something that was mint and in the box with everything. Unfortunately, he passed away. His name was Pete. Yeah, Del Boy says, has the camera got a manual focus mode? No, it hasn't, because it's not actually a camera. Believe it or not, Del Boy, it's a webcam. Wayne says he bought a cardboard box full of old rigs. Dave DX says, hello. Hello, Dave DX. How are you, mate? I can't remember if you've been in here before. Tell us a bit about yourself. What rig, twig, you know, how big your amplifier is, or whereabouts in the world are you? Yeah, Del Boy, for a webcam, I think it does a pretty good job. Stefan's in the house. Hi, Steph. I never got to reply to you regarding what you was talking about. Steph, if you're talking about just for the rig that you've got, you can get the Zitagi 50-watt dummy load. I don't know how much they are, about 20 quid. I always used to use one. I've still got one kicking about here somewhere. The only reason I got the big dummy load, the 300-watt MFJ, was because I wanted to test some amplifiers. Aim for music 1.7 to me is a little bit high. I would aim for 1.5 or less, but that's only because, you know, it's purely cosmetic, really. Chaz has got a major 588. Phaser, you're talking about the QRM? No, there's not. Apparently, Amazon have been hit by this new thing. Now, how it's come about, who it's from, I don't know. But apparently, they've got to have some sort of certificate of conformity now to certain standard levels. And I will tell you where to go and see that. Dave DX is 14 miles north of Oxford. Yeah, okay, Dave. Are you going to test with a linear as well, Stefan? Yeah, get a big one. I mean, I got the MFJ 300-watt. You can get bigger ones as well. There's one that you can put a kilowatt into. How reliable they are, how good they are, I'm not really sure. Albas has been very quiet. Come on, Alan. Let's hear a little bit from you if you're still in the stream. 43 people in the stream at the moment. Thanks everyone for joining. If you've not already, come and say hello in the chat section. You know, let's hear a little bit about you. What rig you got, what twig you got. Yeah, Alan, I did watch your stream. I missed it because I was doing my own thing that day. And when I'm busy, I tend to turn the volume down on my phone. So the next day I looked at my phone and I thought, oh, Mr. Albast is doing a live stream. I thought it was for that day, but unfortunately I'd missed it. Adrian Hobby says, you still ain't paid us. Well, I watched your video, Adrian. I think that's payback enough. Anyone who ain't watched Adrian's video, look him up after this. Click on his name, go and watch his video, okay? That's my payback. And of course, Adrian Hobby is going to become the next live streamer. Yeah, live streaming is a good thing. Yeah, Stefan, I think that dummy load that you're looking at is probably the one that I bought. I can't remember where I got mine from. And there is going to be a petition if Adrian keeps this malarkey up, for Adrian to do a live stream. Yeah, fair play to you, Dipsy. Old Adrian seems like a bit of a grabber, doesn't he? You know. Dave said, Moogie said he'd upset everyone on a live stream. No, I don't reckon you would, Dave. I reckon you'd be all right, mate. Chaz was saying he speaks to someone called Terry. I don't know who that is. I'm only a mobile at the moment, Chaz. And I will just say, regarding running flat side, I can't even tell you what year it was. It was 80s or 90s. Had a 3 element beam, had it flat side, got the rotator and all the rest of it. After I got over the fact that I had a lot to learn, because I thought if I pointed the beam at someone, irrespective of whether it was vertical or horizontal, I'd be giving them a good old signal. Once I got over that and realised it was good for DX, I sort of just thought, yeah, whatever, you know, I'll just sort of, as long as I can hear people, don't worry about it too much. One day, and I'll tell you what rig I had, maybe somebody who's been on for some time, like old Moogie might remember him. It was a straight 40 AM home base. It's about yay big. It was a General Electric, and the top of it had like a wood effect on it. They were quite popular back in the day. I had one of them, and the needles on them were a little bit on the tight side. Someone keyed up, the needle near enough twanged straight off the end. I thought, my God, who's that? They must be outside my house. And it was an old mate of mine, Major Tom. And I said to him, Tom, where are you? I said, you must be outside my house. He goes, no, I'm at home. He goes, you're pegging my needle here. He had a stalk of 15, home base. And we were like, what's going on here? And I happened to mention to him that I had a beam and I was also flat side. Never give it a thought, first off, but his was flat side. He didn't have a rotator. It was just permanently pointed at the states. So, yeah, phenomenal signal to each other. They must have been sort of virtually pointing at each other. Yeah, Dave, Mr. Moogie, have you ever spoken? Well, it's a daft question because you're an amateur. How do you find flat side to flat side performance, like ground wave, if you like? Is there any other stations that you've managed to organise, you know, a bit of a sked and point your beams at each other? I don't know who the name is. I think this is like a little bit of a side chat here. So, Delboy, who is Simon the Gnome? I've got no idea who you're talking about here. Unless I'm the gnome, I could be. Don't really care, to be honest. Yes, and it might have actually been my birthday, mate, that I got this. And Dipsy, are you still in the UK, mate, or have you actually gone home now? I did watch you talking about a ferry the other day. Just jump on your mate's trawler and just say, no, just head this way for a couple of hours. I'm sure you'd have been all right. And Albast, Alan, I've got some tips for you, but I won't give it over here. We'll have a little bit of a private chat on Zello. 55 people on the stream now. Thanks everyone for popping along. You know, jump in the chat section. Let's hear where you are, who you are, what you're into, what rig, twig, power supply, coax, matcher you've got. Okay, Dave, I'll have a look at that link. Cheers, mate. That old Dipsy. 1 minute he's in a trawler, next minute he's in a Scania, and he's on a ferry. He certainly gets about. AM for Music's asking if I've come bother about CB. If you make a nuisance of yourself, then yes, you'd probably get your collar felt. In other words, don't cause interference. You know, make sure you do everything you can to. Okay, now I did say to Alan, I'll give his channel a shout out. If you type in Albast with the R, ALB, AR, I've lost it, RST, I think is Albast. His channel should come right up at the top. Yeah, and as Del Boy says, unless there's money involved, just use your loaf, lads. You know, if your neighbour knocks on your door and says you're interfering with a telly, do something about it. You know, work with your neighbours, do the right thing. Oh, well, scratch that then. Albast is changing the name of his channel. Do you know what? I changed mine the other day and I thought I don't like it, so I just went back to this. People, you know, it's what it is, isn't it? People find me, don't find me. Chaz was I saying that they used to have a regular sked, flat side. Africa would join in, yeah, great. Okay, anyway, Stefan, I hope that bit of info has sort of helped you. And what I've done with my, even if I could see it, it's actually here. I've got a male connector. So when I use the dummy load, it just cuts out a patch lead, just screw it straight to the back. Saves all the wires all over the place, mate. Pfizer, have you had the vaccine? How did you wangle that? Good for you, mate. Dave DX, yeah, I know. The QRM noise, whatever you want to call it, it's an absolute headache for a lot of people. Colin Wiltshire says it's not fossilised enough for the vaccine. Well, what they're doing now, they're doing the over 65s, aren't they? I just can't wait. I'll be glad when I've had mine. I mean, I'm 59. Okay, Mr. Albast, is what it is, isn't it? Yeah, the vaccine malarkey. I've heard stories from it sterilises you, it turns you gay. There's nanotechnology in there where the government can almost control you by remote. There's some horrendous stories going out there. Yeah, it's funny. During World War II, there was no conspiracy theories when the Germans were dropping bombs on us because you could see it happening. Because this is a virus, people are making up all sorts of rubbish, which is not helping the greater cause, unfortunately. Yeah, Dipsy, I'll have yours, mate. But I don't know how old you are, Dipsy. You ain't that old, are you, mate? $34. Yeah, just a whippersnapper. Mate, I mean, I ain't going to tell anyone that don't want to have the vaccine to go and have, do it. We're all grown up, simply make your own minds up. Yeah, I'll be honest. If you don't want to talk about the virus and vaccines, great. But I've got to be honest. I tend to try not myself. But I'm the one that you're all looking at. But it's what it is, isn't it? Bob's like it again. Don't worry about it, Bob. I'm surprised the computer ain't packed up yet. I'll touch wood here. Kev63 says vaccine causes QRM. That's the nanobites in the technology. I'm just keeping an eye on the security camera. I don't actually think I've ever shown you my security cameras, have I? Looks like it's raining out there in actual fact. My phone's going crazy. Who's this? Yeah, that's from Dave. It's the gnome. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, that particular person that you're talking about, Mr. Moogie, I'm unsure about that one. Yeah, totally unsure. I've sort of spoke to him via a comment or two. Wakey Gaming says that his granddad got it legalised in the UK. I think it was with a legalisation thing. There was hundreds of people went on marches. Adrian Hobby said Fred's not here yet. He might turn up. He's got a life to lead, hasn't he? Oh yeah, did anyone get anything nice for Valentine's Day? No, nothing adult, by the way. Dave Moogie, I'll reply to that soon. And I'm not surprised by the comment that you got there. Swady Boy says I've got me bonio out tonight. No, I haven't, but I'll tell you what, they like mince pies. I found a box of mince pies 2-3 days ago, and I thought these are out of date. They've gone down the back of the cupboard. So I got one, I threw it out for the birds, and I put 2 in the fox's bowl. And I'll just quickly show you these cameras because I've banged on about it long enough. There they are. That's our front door. That's our back garden, and that's our alleyway. And this is where you see that there, that white thing, that's the fox's bowl. There you go. Mr. Moogie saying, "Did I get it?" Yeah, I got the message. Yeah, I read it out. I was actually talking to you on air. You must have been in the kitchen or whatever. Dave, I won't say nothing, mate. It's it. You know, there's all the goings on in the world. Nah, if someone tells me something, don't go any further. Trust me on that. Yeah, pretty much likewise, Del Boy. I think you got to have them nowadays. And I will tell you, I'll just bore you with it while we're all sort of here doing our thing. When I lived up in Bedford, I lived in an old cottage. I sat there watching the telly one night. We only had one door. You went in the door. It's quite a small cottage. There was no back door. There was like a public right of way that led down into a field because it was out in the sticks. Sat there watching the telly. I happened to look up and see a silhouette of someone, and it looked like they were trying to peer in the curtains. So when I got up to see who it was, they scarpered. That happened twice. So, cut a long story short, I got myself the security cameras, and I stuck one of the cameras in the alleyway above the window. Now the camera's black, and the fascia board was black, so unless you really knew it was there, you wouldn't be looking. You'd be surprised what I saw on there. Wakey Gaming, okay, mate. Is that information that you've just put out on YouTube anywhere about your granddad? And fair play to him, it's people like your granddad, you know, that gave us the legal CB. Colin Guntrip says it was Bigfoot looking through your window. No, it won't. I won't say who it was, but I caught him on the camera, let's say, and I pulled him up about it. Never did it again. TJ Noob says, what amps do you recommend? 100 or 200 watts? Oh, I don't know. Depends really what you want to do with it, what power supply you've got, what antenna system you've got, because getting out well is not all about how big your amplifier is, so obviously it will help. AM for music. Says, in the days of the DTI, were you ever asked to show your license if you were stopped when mobile? I'll let everyone else answer that. I ate all the pies, Colin. In actual fact, I've got to start cutting back. This lockdown, I'm one of them people who only got to look at food. And I put weight on, I put a load of weight on. It's not good. I've got me little weights over there. I might have to start using them. I keep trying to ride my bike, but it's so cold. And with my asthma, it don't do it a lot of good. Colin Wiltshire says he's never had one. Oh, that's a bit tight, isn't it, Colin? Bob says he nearly got caught for pirate radio. All right, then, on here, who ever had a CB license back in the day? So everyone that had a CB license, even if it was only for a year, and then you went the rest without. So Bob had a license. Del Boy had a license. Chris Lane had a license twice. Colin had a license, 15 quid. Gary Seed had one the first year. Yeah, well, I think, well, I'll rather than spell it out, I'll just tell you, when I first started out, most of you already know, I started out on AM at a little straight 40 Bristol. So you can guess whether I had a license and how many years I had it for. A lot of the locals definitely had them because they'd be very quick to tell you. And no, I never got stopped by the DTI. My first car was an Austin 1100, little red thing. I think I've shown it in one of my videos, or at least a picture of it. I used to run a KT40 on a boot mount with that. Yeah, you're going back some years now, aren't you? This is to everyone. This was back in the day with the Uni-Ace rigs. You know, Binatone 5 stars, CBXs, your Yorks, you know, and all of that. And the what was that aerial? It just had 3 legs on it. Was that a Thunder Pole? I think they did a base loaded one, didn't they? And a centre loaded one. The radiating element was only allowed to be 1.5 meters long and at a certain height. And if you put it over a certain height, you used to hit that low power button down to 1/4 of a watt. Well, thank God all that's long gone now. Yeah, Colts were popular, weren't they? There was the little Cobras, the little ones with the chrome. Was it the 19X or the 21X? I can't remember. It's been so many years since I've had them type of rigs. Yeah, Swady Boy, the Thunder Pole. Believe it or not, there's one up still, and it's been up for years and years and years. I've actually got a shot of it in one of my videos. I was rewatching the video just the other day, and as I was driving down the road, in the video I'm watching, and I thought I'll just have to keep checking to see if it's still there, and it is still there. Colt 510 Del Boy, don't think they ever had one of them. There was, is it a 1200 DX as well that was popular for a little while? Yeah, there's some nice looking rigs back then. I don't know why I'm sharing this with you, but going back in the day, there was a guy in Flitwick. This was when I used to buy and sell rigs. His handle was Spudman. He used to deliver potatoes in the back of his van. And he was on there one day. He had a TriStar 777. And I always liked the sound of it. I spoke to him on SSB on it. It was a pucker rig, and it had the EEPROM in it as well for the UK 40. I can't remember his name. I think he might have been Italian. And this particular day, he was selling it. So I forgot all about the likes. We've got 47 people and 18 likes. Does that make you lot lazy? Let me think on that. Maybe you ain't decided if you like it yet. Yeah, cut a long story short, I said to me, Dad, will you run us to Flitwick? He said, what for? I said, there's a bloke out there got CB for sale. I can't remember what I paid for it, but I went over there, got it off him, and I only had it for 2-3 days, sold it, made myself a few quid on it. Yeah, Bob, whenever, innit? You know, I mean, Bob commented last time when I was going to open that packet and my poxy computer froze up again. And Bob said I only did that so I got twice as many likes. Now, obviously, it's not the case. It's an inconvenience for me, sort of. I think Albast Allen will relate. To set up a live stream and then for it to fail, then you've got to go through all the whole rigmarole again. It's a real pain in the butt. Chaz Wazza, December in 81. Got Harry a CBX and a Swerve, mate. I chuffed the bits, and you've still got them. Fair play to you, mate. I wish I still had my first rig. It was, like I've said, it was just a little straight 40 AM Bristol. In actual fact, I've got a pile of rigs here that I was going to mention. Yeah, I know he was, Bob. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, trust me, it's a real nuisance from this end. You've got to go through all the rigmarole of doing what you, oh dear. No massive thing, but it's an inconvenience for everyone else trying to watch. Colin Guntrip's asking about a test to use a CB radio. Yeah, Del Boy's just pointed out that people had the CB radios everywhere. There was a guy local to me, had a sack barra, and I've mentioned this before. He had a truck battery in it, a DV27, and I think it was a Midland 2001 or something like that. And he would say he was mobile and never knew no difference. Until someone said, oh, he ain't really mobile, he's just got a sack barra. But, you know, people were crazy on it. I used to go mobile on my push bike with a Harvard 410T, you know, just chatting away because there were so many people on then. You didn't need all the kit that we do now. Colin Wiltshire is asking if I've sorted the 360 FM yet. No, I haven't. I've got a front that I can put on it that my subscriber sent over quite kindly. So back front there. Most of the things will line up, apart from this says Cobra 148 GTL/EX. And if you see there, it's got low, mid and high. It's on the 360, it might say high or low tone. Delboy used to have a 148. Oh, you was up market, you was, mate. I just had a little handheld. Lonnie N. Clifton asks if I've tried the Striker 955. No, I haven't. They look really good. I think Dave Moogie has got one or something very similar. I know he's got a Striker. I've not got one myself, never tried them. In actual fact, I've never heard anyone on one. So, Dave, are you saying there's a competition on 11 metres on sideband? Let's just hope it ain't QRZ. Yeah, 5 and 9, 59, 73 is QRZ. I ain't like that. I don't think it would be. King Duffy is asking, well, I presume me or maybe everyone else, have you ever built a 2 TLT antenna? Yes, I have. Worked very well. Put it together by a guy's video, and I strung mine up on a washing line, horizontally polarized, and I thought my SWR is going to be well out. Hooked it up to me rig, keyed up 1.5, good enough for me. Okay, Dave Moogie, Lynn for. So I'm going to be bed, and I Bedfordshire. Here's one for everyone. From what I gather, we got AM, upper sideband and lower sideband, gifted to us, really, didn't we? You know, it was, to me, it was a bit out of the blue. And it was something about being the same as the rest of the EU. Well, now we're out of the EU. What's the crack there then? Is there any risk of us losing? Not that it would make any difference because people have already bought the kit. Yeah, Albars. I've got a little Midland walkie-talkie. The battery pack on it's faulty. You have to keep holding it, and I've messed about with it for ages, and the rig keeps going off. But one day while it was working, I connected it up to the Megawatt 4000. I was on top of a hill, but I also accidentally plugged in something else. And I was asking for rig checks, and when people were asking what rig I was on, and I told them, they're like, yeah, you're pegging me needle here, and I'm like 30 mile away. That's a hell of a handheld. I didn't have the art to tell them. Yeah, okay, Delboy, let's just hope that we're okay. Gary Seed says possession is 9/10 of the law. As long as it ain't a big bag of grain in your pocket that you're talking about there, mate. Yeah, okay, Mr. Moogie. I weren't sure whether you were still doing that or not, because I know there was a little bit of a hoo-ha. Something about you used to have a page in a magazine. Anyone who don't know, Mr. Moogie there is well involved with CB within the UK. Colin Wiltshire wants a couple of inches back. And Bob is talking about 934. I never had one of the 934 rigs. Way out of my price range. Yeah, Del Boy, let's be honest, legal, not legal. 555's been active ever since I've ever first been on rig. And Colin's also saying that we should have a pounds and ounces back. I don't know. I don't get it when another country is telling us what we can and can't do. But we're out of that malarkey now. Yeah, okay, Dave Moogie. Just explain to anyone who don't know, like myself, what is the ECBF? Yeah, Del Boy, I think we can have bendy bananas, out of shape, whatever now. See, the walls ain't come tumbling down. I mean, to be fair, though, I don't like to mention this virus. I think that's been far more of an important thing. I think it's about 15 million people vaccinated now. And 100-watt light bulbs. Yes, Del Boy, I have. And then they wanted to start telling us that they wanted some of our vaccine. I just hope that our Mr. Boris said, sorry, mate, those of you telling us what to do are gone. Jog on. I'm sure that our country will help out any others, same as what we've always done. They need us, we need them, but make up their own rules again. Got 44 people in here. I'm not sure that 44 people are actually in the chat section. If you've not commented yet, do, come and just say hello, maybe tell us a bit about what you're using. If you've got a question, don't be shy. There's a good bunch of lads in here. Colin Guntrip says we're out of the EU but still get the virus. Do you know what? I would show you my mask that I wear when I go shopping, but for the life of me, I can't think where it is. I actually bought two when all this virus first kicked off. King Duffy would have been in earlier, but I had to do a Valentine's meal for the wife. Yeah, you old romantic. Yeah, fair enough. King Duffy, why not? There you go. Anyone who's not read this, read what M0OGY has just put down there, and then you'll see how involved Dave is with this radio hobby of ours. Fair play here, Dave. Yeah, pancakes on Tuesday. Yeah, Stefan was talking earlier about maybe getting an oscilloscope. I've never used one myself. Any of you guys got one? I won't have a clue what to do with it, to be honest. I'm more the business end. I'm sort of one for grabbing the mic, either put out a CQ or just chatting or, doing me thing. Okay, Stefan. Yeah, this is to Moogie. What are the chances of us getting them 16 or so channels above the mid block and in between the bottom end of the Muppets? What's the chances of us getting them allocated and having that part legalised for sideband? Yeah, Stefan saying it's quite cheap now for a digital one. I ain't got two bob to rub together at the minute, if I'm honest. Let me just see if I can find that mask. If it's not just up here, you're out of luck. No, it's not. You're out of luck. It's in here somewhere. Chris Lane says, how far down can we go regarding megahertz? I can't remember where 12 meters starts and finishes. So come on, lads. 26, it's not legal. 25 ain't legal either, but you don't really want to stray into the amateur band and upset people. And that's really applies in radio in general. Go about your business, do your thing, but just all of us have to be mindful that we're not upsetting anybody else in what we're doing. Yes, I've got a Zello channel. Thanks to Colin Guntrip. If you've not already got Zello, it's a free app. You can download it. If you do a search for CB Radio England, that's my channel. There's loads of the CB ones out there. I'll just, in actual fact, have a little look here. According to this, there's 6 people in CB Radio England. If someone just wants to give a demo and just say hello, Steve, or something, I've got the volume up here. Tony Wakelin says great topics. Tried to help someone with his QRM, but he decided to sell up after an hour.
All right, Steve.
Someone said, all right, Steve, thanks for that, whoever that was. I think that might have been Mr. Albar. Sorry, I'm going to turn the volume down here now. I can.
Good evening.
Oh, there's another one. There you go. It's Zello. Works very, very well, in actual fact, unlike a lot of the other apps. Thanks for that, Del Boy. Okay, anyone wants to know about this QRM thing that's going on? Now, it's not a QRM thing as such, but it will affect. It could be the start of getting rid of all this crap from abroad with all these switch mode things and all generating unwanted RF in all sorts of places. Now, it's a video, okay? Now, how valid this video is, I do not know. But if you do a search on YouTube, now I don't know this guy. I've never commented on his video, but I did watch it the other day. I gather he's an amateur. If you type into YouTube, Amazon crackdown on RF devices, the guy is holding one of them Bofeng UV5Rs in his hand. Just try and remember that. I found it very interesting. Could be the start of something here. Because let's be honest, we have got a lot of things that interfere that by rights shouldn't, and how they get to be sold. They're substandard, a lot of them. They're not really up to the job, but they're cheap, aren't they? Pardon me. So yeah, if anyone wants to have a look at that, and I don't know whether people like Dave or Moogie, whether you know about it, Dave. It was certainly news to me. I'm just sat here. This is TU Electronic Wizards. Okay, there's someone from Canada just came through. Sorry, the guy from Canada, I've got the volume down. I don't know whether you can make that out very well because I'm only using a webcam. This here is a light sensitive resistor, which basically turns this relay on off. You've got a common, normally open, normally closed, right? Which is basically it's a switch. I wonder if I replace that light sensitive resistor with a thermistor, whether it would turn the relay on and off the same or whether it just go bang. I've got no idea. I'm not into electronics. Do you know what, lads? I can't even remember why I bought that. I don't think it's one I made myself. Like, could have been looking at the soldering, because, you know, like for the intermediate, you have to make a kit. You look at the soldering. I might have made it. I can't remember. I did make an egg timer. It's one of these Maplin kits. When you turn it on, all the little LEDs went down. Nigel Lawrence. Hi, Nigel. How are you, mate? Good to see you. I ain't seen you in a stream in a little while. Did you ever get your antenna and your CB radio or 11-meter kit set up? Yeah, Bob's saying, trying to be correct regarding Amazon. it could be the start of something. It could be. Because, you know, this cheap stuff just flooded the market. I know Dave, old Moogie, he had, I think his next door neighbour had some sort of, I think it was an antenna booster thing. And, you know, people know they're pretty broadband in what they do. Blackmore, 2001, Alberta, Canada. That must have been you that I just heard. Yeah, welcome aboard. I do this every Sunday evening from 7 p.m. UK time for an hour or so, and also do it on a Wednesday evening from 7 o'clock from an hour or so. That's what I aim for anyway. There's a good bunch of lads in here. Different. Most of the guys that come in this stream they've been around for a little while. I think who's the youngest? Callum's made it. How you doing, mate? Is anyone younger than 34? Because I know Dips is 34. He just told us a little while earlier. Anyone younger than that? And this is to the guy in Canada. We were talking about this earlier. It was something that I got given as a gift. Well, two things. This one here, I've Googled that. I can't find any information about that. This is, I presume it was published in 1977. Okay, also got this. And it says the new 40 channel edition. Must have come out just after the 40 channels rigs were bought out. Absolute bit of gold there for me, and I was actually given that. Mega Gibster. If I remember, your name's Paul in it. If you, I did ask you the other day in one of the comments, but you never did reply, mate. Swady boy, 66. I'd never have guessed that, Swady boy. By your voice, I thought you was a wee whippersnapper. I thought you was only 35 max. Connie Guntrip. Yes, it's Paul from Hemel. Paul, how you keeping now, mate? Because I know you was ill for a while. Going back a while, I won't say what you was ill with, but you know, how you keeping? You're making a good recovery, mate. William Welsh is only 33, so William could be the baby of the group, maybe. William, what's your story, mate? Are you on the radio at the moment? Are you a well-established setup, or if you just sort of come back into the hobby, or sitting on the fence, borderline thinking of coming back? Swady boy says you're as young as the woman that you feel, mate. Nigel is asking over a CT CSS board. I take it you're after opening up a few repeaters there, are you? Or are you just thinking of getting the rig, you know, so it's silent or whatever? I don't really know what you're trying to achieve there, Nigel. Darren Barwick, 73s, mate. No worries. I'm going to have to end this stream soon anyway. William Welsh is looking at getting a 9900. Off the top of my head, I don't know anyone who's selling one, but I've used one for a long time. Unfortunately, I had to sell it. I got skinned. 2 days later, I got the 4.6 any tone, luckily enough. So I don't really feel like I've missed out a lot there. This is Paul, Mega Gibster. Now I just run mobile at the moment. Occasionally I'll go home base. It's difficult here, let's say. I'll just put an Antron up there in the garden. Just as a temporary. I literally got 2 straps. I've got a 10-meter extendable tower. It's just one of these cheap, push it up, do up the thing, push it up a bit more. We use a few sections of that, put the Antron on it, and just use 2 straps, top and bottom, onto the washing line pole. Right, to my surprise, after an hour and 20 minutes, got 51 people in here, some maybe late arrivals. I'll just hang on for anyone who has not got in the chat box yet and just come and said hello or ask any questions they may well have. Jason 2 Romeo Tango 431 says, evening Steve. Evening mate, and my monitor's just gone off, so it could be the queue. Oh no, we're back. Nigel's got a 2LT. Eddie's mum. Yeah, catch you later, Brian. Cheers for showing up. I'll catch you soon. I might actually even bell you after the stream ends. It won't be long. Yeah, got 54 people in there at the minute. And this is to you, electronics boffs. Do you think these diodes are going to be big enough for my Amstrad 901? The size of them, look. I must have been half cut when I ordered them. Yeah, Nigel, I'm surprised you're using a 2LT because I know you're an amateur up there in sunny Scotland. But then again, why not? You know, they do work, let's be honest. Do you know what, Swady boy? I don't know what these are, but these are monsters. They're really big. I've never used them. Like, diode's a diode in it, I suppose. There we go. This is Spinner 1976, currently running a Midland 78 and a silver rod from your shed. Have a 6900 that he runs mobile. Yeah, fair enough, Spinner. Thanks for sharing that with us, mate. Loads of people have got the 6900 at the moment. I've got one myself, where it's the remaining one. You just see the box of it there. Well, it ain't the box, it's got the rig in it as well. Mr. Albast, I've got a good idea for you, but I'll share privately. And I think when I tell you, you just sort of go, why didn't I think of that? Anyone who's not visited Albast's channel, if you happen to live in a block of flats or just generally interested in radio, pop along and have a look at Alan's channel. Maybe consider subscribing. He's a good guy. Swady boy, is the 6900 the one with a dodgy clarifier? It's the one that clicks. I'm not a fan of it, but I've had about, I don't know, at least 4, maybe more. Catch you later, Callum. Take care, mate. Anyway, listen, guys, it's Valentine's Day. As much as I'm enjoying it, there's 50 odd people in here still. I'm going to have to shut it down. Go down and spend a bit of time with my better half. Yeah, Mega Gipster. Callum's been in here a couple of times. We've also got M0OGY, who is massively involved in CB radio. If Gipster, if you've not seen Moogie's videos, look him up, M0OGY. Type that into YouTube, take a look at his channel, and you'll see what sort of caliber that Dave is. Metalhead 503, 73's Paul. I'll maybe give a ring tomorrow, mate. Mark 1, it's got the thumbs up. If you did give it the thumbs up, thanks, mate. Hopefully we'll see you in the next stream, which should be Wednesday at 7 p.m. UK time. No, I'm not blowing smoke or throwing flowers at you, Mr. Moogie. It's the truth. Moogie is highly involved with CB Radio. He's got a cracking channel where he does reviews and everything. You know, consider subscribing to his channel. Have a look. Kev 63, 73's, mate. Stefan 73's, always good fun. Oh, I love having you guys here. Some of the banter's quite funny. Even Dipsy, if you can keep him awake long enough, you know, it can be quite humorous as well. Spinner 76, got to go back to work. Okay, mate. Thanks for popping by. Anyone who's not a subscriber, you might want to consider subscribing. You'll get updated on the next videos. So God knows what that may well be about. Could be anything. No worries, Dave. You're always welcome. Always chuck a few flowers your way. Credit where it's due. Bob, it's always worth going back and having a look. Next to the subscribe button is the bell. Loads of people say, I didn't know you. Someone said to me on Facebook the other day, are you still uploading videos? I'm a subscriber of yours. William Welsh, 73's, mate. Pardon me. Well, thanks for popping by, everyone. It's been a lot of fun for me. I've got 32 likes. Ain't all about the likes, not for me. But it is nice to have, you know, you guys pop by. Chris Lane, 73's. Del Boy, bell, bell, bell. Yeah. Swady Boy. Okay, Albast, you just got yourself a new subscriber, mate. I'm just trying to read up the writing now. It was someone that have a little read. Too easy. Okay, Nigel. Okay, guys, I'm ending the stream now. I'm going to get down, spend a bit of time with my better half. Hopefully, we'll see some of you guys in the next stream, which should be Wednesday, 7 p.m. Take care, fellas. Till next time, be safe.